Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Friday, March 3rd, 2017, and we're in Panama City Beach, or PCB to the locals. The weather's been mostly pleasant and warm in the 80s, but a rainstorm left us with high winds for the last couple of days, so we've been hanging out inside, making soups and baking oatmeal and treating ourselves to some online shopping for a few goodies, not much. A new stainless steel coffee carafe, and a stainless steel manual grinder for coffee beans. Also, a tiny dehumidifier. Yeah, it's Florida. We've also been catching up on email and blog comments, and we realize it's past time to answer a couple of requests for more about our traveling buddy, Pico. So this blog is for you, Stan and Tim. It's time to say more about this little guy. His full name is Pico de Gallo, Great Explorer of the Universe, and if you have the time and patience with his thick Chihuahua dialect, he'd be happy to tell you his story. Really, he's quite a talker. We brought Pico home almost 8 years ago. We've always had dogs, and each one is a little different. Pico is the dog who likes to chat. He tries very hard to imitate human speech, and sometimes he gets close to YouTube quality. Yesterday, he parroted Jim, saying, "Whoa!" after hitting a speed bump a bit too fast. He also grumbles under his breath like a sulky teenager when he doesn't get his way. Wonder where he learned that. But mostly, Pico is a traveler, and the road was where I first set eyes on him. Licensed for animal rescue in the state of Mississippi, my sister Deborah let me ride with her on a mission. Earlier that day, a woman called from her ranch about a cute little stray pup, not more than 5 pounds, who'd been dumped and living outside near her place for a while. To discourage the pup from coming to her house and risk being attacked by her dogs, she'd been feeding him down the road a piece. But snow was predicted for that night, and she feared he'd take his chances and come to the door. Deb and I had been on several errands that day, and we were running late. It was cold, and dark was closing in. We feared it might be too late for the poor thing. But just as Deb turned her Honda Civic off the road, a scrawny little tricolored Chihuahua mix came running like the blazes down the long rutted dirt driveway with a big yeller dog snapping at his haunches. Deb did some fancy trick driving, skidded the Civic sideways as she opened the door, shouting, "Treats!" When the dust finally settled, I had a wormy little patootie on my lap who would live through the night, and then some. Later, back at the house, we washed and dried our little problem beside the fire, wondering what his name was. He shivered and stared blankly as we tried every dog name but his own. Mama, who overheard us from the hallway, walked in and said, "He's Taco." Instantly, all systems fired, ears, tail, eyes, sparked off sheer wonder and gratitude that someone had finally gotten it right. Mama sat down and picked up his teeny-tiny squirmy self by the underarms and held him this way and that for a thorough examination. Everybody around here names their chihuahuas Taco. Okay, I had an aversion to that name, even though the little guy really seemed to like it. Mama suggested we change his name to Pico because it came close to the sound of his birth name. We did, and it took. Days later, at the veterinarian's office, some mystery moved my hand to write Pico de Gallo, Great Explorer of the Universe, on the admittance form. An hour later, cleared for heartworms, vaccinated and chipped, we drove to the airport and caught our flight to San Diego. Pico is street. He tries to knock over trash cans that are 50 times his size. He hits on all the dog babes, and, except for his cousin George, he fights with all the dog dudes. At home, he's a lover, but get him out on the town or to a dog park, he can be a hot mess. He's a mystery, and will not or cannot part ways with a deep and feral past where he had to run or fight for every morsel and comfort. And we have no idea why he hates on snapdragons. He even growls at them when I point them out in the garden there on the stem. And our beautiful pillow, made and designed for our Airstream, for some reason, it must die. And believe me, there's some things about his love life that would make the front page of the National Enquirer, but we'll leave it at that. On his very first day to Coronado, Pico squirmed under the gate and got thrown in dog jail. And he doesn't even seem to care about having a record. I dare say he may even be a little proud of it. Truth is, he's even bit us several times and has even bit some of our friends. We've had dogs before, but this Alpha Chihuahua is something else. So, yes, Pico has issues. But on the positive side, he's one vigilant watchdog. Best watchdog we've ever had. He's got our back, and we know he'd fight to the death to protect us. Our little Pico de Gallo, he lives up to his name. He's a little bit of a fighter, a lover, and an explorer, and he's energetic. At 8 years old, Pico can still walk for hours at a 3-mile-per-hour pace. Yep, he's our fitness dog, and we take him everywhere. Recently, he's become a kayaking enthusiast. But at first, he was unsupportive about leaving his home to go and live in Beauty full-time. Yeah, he thought we were nuts to leave his neighborhood and his best buddy and cousin, George. But slowly, he grew quite fond of his new lifestyle, adapting in his own way and his own time. He's finally made this silver cave his personal turf. I find refuge in my little minimalist kitchen, where I prepare all our favorite meals. Jim finds peace just sitting outside with a cigar as he rejoices in being free from the responsibilities of abundance. And Pico? He just loves his truck. And sometimes he even lets us drive it. Arrival time is another high point, with the complimentary maximum security surveillance inspection. We all agree travel day is the best. Good times, fun routines, yummy treats, and hanging out with stateside squirrel. Pico perks to our rituals and routines. He watches us closely for visual signals, predictions of his future activities. For instance, when I go to the dining room table and reach up to unhook the hanging fruit basket, it's moving time. Maybe he thinks we're going back to Coronado to see Auntie Barbie and George, or to Grandpapa in Mississippi, or Aunt Deborah in Tennessee. But once that fruit basket is down, he makes a mad dash for the beast, takes his seat front and center, and steers straight ahead, ready for action. The mission is on. Make no mistake, Pico de Gallo, great explorer of the universe, is leaving his mark on the world. Thanks so much for joining us at Living in Beauty. Special thanks this week goes to Dr. Stone at Coronado Veterinary Hospital for helping us to get to the bottom of Pico's tummy problem and prepare him for travel. So far, knock on wood, no middle-of-the-night vet visits in a strange town. Okay, that's it. Have a great week.